My name is Alfonzo Harris. I actually came to this community through UCSB, where I did a PhD in molecular biology. My area of expertise is cancer diagnostics. And one of the things we do in my lab, and actually my company, we are 50 employees in Goleta, right behind Cottage Health, is to change the ways we deal with cancer biopsies. One of the things in the past was that we were mainly using solvents, silenes, alcohols, and all that. And I actually know people that were histotechs that died of lung cancer and exposure to all these nasty chemicals that we use in a laboratory setting. So one of the things we've been doing, not only to develop great technologies to immunotype different kinds of cancers, from breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, by the use of antibodies and automated robotic instruments, and also development of recombinant antibodies or DNA probes to detect mutations and immunotype cancer. And not only that, but predict how to treat cancer is using environmentally safe products. The truth of the matter, we're fighting cancer, but in hospitals, not even 10, 20 years ago, or laboratories like BioSB in Goleta, we were using these nasty chemicals, formaldehyde, silenes, alcohols, solvents of all kinds. So one of the things we have done and we offer now as part of our portfolio of products for molecular pathology is to use plant-based detergents and also, do what we do is heat permeabilization of those tissues to revert the defixation process of biopsies, is to use this plant-based products. And now we're able to, even in one step, all these biopsies are embedded in paraffin. And you need to get rid of the paraffin, dissolve it. And in the past, it was mostly done with oil-based, chemicals. And so we found out that using different oils, mostly from legumes, we can achieve the same result, but we had to use heat. So we developed a way to use microwaves or pressure cookers or even water baths to subject the tissues to this fast, especially microwaves, procedures to eliminate paraffin and also heat permeabilize the tissues so there's better permeabilization of tissue biopsies for cancer diagnostics.
Yeah. I am really listening to how you're changing the way of helping so many people who are in the process of either surviving or dying from cancer. You're not changing their lives. What you're doing is changing the infrastructure that is impacting the planet and helping others that are in the journey of battling cancer, either be technicians in labs or doctors or the cancer patient themselves. And I really just want to say I appreciate so much because that's my sister right now is in the journey of maybe not surviving from cancer, right? And my best friend had passed from it, and my tia right now is also passing. So what you're doing is just so impactful, since we already know that right now cancer is increasing amongst the whole world population. So I commend you. I really do. I thank you so much for doing something that's changing all of these different layers for humanity.
What I would like to say is that, let's say, my company in Goleta, we are 50 people. And of course, we care about what we do, especially in the lab when we deal with all these nasty chemicals. But in reality, our products go to hospitals, to UCLA or City of Hope, and to 100 countries around the world, meaning we're trying to provide this environmentally safe reagents and solutions that are widely used when processing all these samples for cancer diagnostics. And of course, the samples are from cancer patients. Yeah. But in reality, I'm talking about the protection of the people that work in the lab and the histotechs that work all over the world, because we do business not only here in the United States, but all over the world. Right. And the issue here is changing that mentality of having, using formaldehyde and silenes and all this.
That's part of that infrastructure, right? Like Correct. That's what we would call a root cause. So the technicians are there to be able to help those that are in the journey,
Correct.
or they not. But to then be in your own journey because of you wanting to find purpose in your life, and now you have cancer because you're a technician.
Correct.
And then what do you do with all of those anti-earth things, those solvents, ¿cómo es en inglés? Solvents? No.
Solvents.
Solvents. And then it goes back to the earth. So what impact does that have on other people that are in that neighborhood?
Yeah, it's
amazing.
not only the use and the exposure. Us technicians, are subjected to all these nasty chemicals, but also recycling all these formaldehydes and all these chemicals. So now with all these alternatives, and they are being developed here in Santa Barbara County, and they go everywhere: Mexico, Argentina, Europe, or Australia. So we are committed, to use environmentally safe alternatives to processing tissue biopsies for cancer diagnostics. And the other issues, and it's mostly in the pre-analytical stage, meaning even before we applied, all the technologies of antibodies or DNA probes and detection systems to have an objective diagnostic. Right. But it's the pre-analytical part of the biopsy, that uses a lot of nasty chemicals. Yeah. And I would like to dedicate this to Timmy Laking of Santa Barbara, that died of lung cancer. And she was my first histotech here in Goleta. And she died of lung cancer, and I've known many of them because that's how we used to work in the 70s and the 80s, and we were exposed to all these nasty chemicals.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you're doing something different, and I hope that your business will come back to Earth Day and put a booth here so that all of us, you just heard that 3 people in my life, right? The most important, my baby sister. She's my most important. And all of us have been impacted by somebody that has had cancer, survived it, or died it. And so for you to come here to share what it is that you're doing and the purpose that you have to be able to help more people understand that the technicians, that it is important to think of them and their journey as they're also helping others.
By all means.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Marian, her mom and dad, they both died of cancer. My dad died of cancer as well. Yeah. So we all have been touched.
Yes, we have.
By this.
We've all been touched. And Starfish Connection started by Virginia, and she's not here. She was here earlier because her husband had passed from cancer. And today's his birthday. Oh, wow. And so one of his wishes and one of his mandates to Virginia, his wife, is start a nonprofit that's going to help others. And that's why it's called Starfish Connection. And so part of what we're doing, just for you to know in case they weren't able to explain it, is Starfish Connection does gap crisis funding for families that are in need. Hardcore, right? Like the mom that needs to drive the child to UCLA can't get the gas card because there's no state and federal support for that. So we're giving that. Single mom needed a car so that she got the job, but she couldn't do the job without the car. So we helped get her a car. So that crisis gap funding. And so then the Talk, O Truck, is our other program of the opportunity in community to share our stories, which are so valid and beautiful. But then to have businesses and other organizations hire us so that we can then use 100% of the money to go back to supporting people in the crisis funding.
Excellent.
So that's what this is about. And that's why we're recording, so others can really share their experience. Why am I doing what I'm doing? How does this touch my heart? And how am I impacting? And then maybe one day your business is going to have a gala, an event, or a party, and you're like, hey, come here. And then we help you come up with questions. This is a canvas. And so these questions are because Earth Day wanted us to come up with questions so that we can think about ourselves and nature. And then Hospice, which is a great organization, those questions there were really about the grief or the value of the human that passed that we all loved, right? Like Kimmy, like your parents, like your
Correct.
dad, like my grandpa and my tías. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, haciendo todo lo que estás haciendo para el mundo.
Por supuesto.
Yeah.
Un placer.
Un placer.
We have all received a gift, an expected or anticipated gift for a birthday, anniversary, retirement. Each time we receive that gift, whether it meets our expectation, we feel something. Happy, sad, disappointed. The gifts that are unexpected, unconditional, small or large, have the potential of changing the trajectory of a life. Someone pays for your groceries when you're out of money, leaves you a big tip just when you think you can't afford your rent. Those are the gifts that ease our fears, make us grateful, and want to help others. This is a space where we share how those gifts, big or small, make a difference and change our lives. Welcome to the Starfish Connection.